The first human we had ever worked with was a big shock to the crew. Everyone had heard the stories of how amazing it was to have a human on the ship, of course, their boundless strength and companionship that they provided, and of course their strangeness. So our good captain went out and did what good captains do. He took a risk and hired a new human crew member, a young male called Michael. We all had our reservations at this rash decision, none more so than me and the other cargo haulers, but no one ever consults us about new hires. Naturally, all the rumours of the species' outlandish reputation quickly became betting on how long it would take for the human to do something truly bizarre, something alien. Every species had their quirks, but apparently humans were almost something else entirely. I felt cautiously optimistic with my own bid. A couple days worth of coin for a couple days of peace before the non-typical activities started to show themselves. But not even the captain could have guessed that the new hire would start being human on the very first day. Michael didn't look all that interesting to start with, just a fairly standard bipedal body layout with mammalian features. He took instruction well and wasn't bothered by any of the other sailors' harsh language that me and the other handlers banded about to test a new guy, and his impressive strength sped the loading process up quite a bit. It looked like having him rostered on the same shift would be quite desirable for us, doing almost a quarter of the total work on his own. With that good first impression, we were away from the dock faster than expected, and found ourselves in the uncommon position of having some free time on our hands. A few of the others had hoped Micah would join them in the rec room for a bit, get to know him better, but he declined, saying he was tired, needed to settle in before the next work assignment. Fine by me. I sure as heck didn't want to miss the opportunity to put my feet up. There would be plenty of time to get to know the newbie later. The first sign something was wrong was when Michael didn't show up for midday meal. Different eating cycle, perhaps? After a brief discussion, I got voluntold by the ship's second officer to go fetch him. He wasn't hard to find. He was in his assigned prayer bunk in the communal quiet room. Dead. He was unresponsive, and still, it took all of my composure to remain calm while I called for medical. They couldn't do anything, of course, but this would have to be investigated, and on the first day no less. I could not think about the poor human while I waited. Did we work him too hard? He said the sweat was a sign of hard work, not some sort of injury. We would have never been so rough on him on his first day had we known something like this could have happened. Other humans might cause all kinds of problems for us, and the captain if they thought it was something we did. The ship's on-duty medical staff arrived and took in the scene with blank faces of experience. There was suddenly no more urgency in their movements, now that the would-be patient was confirmed beyond help. A stretcher was produced, and Michael's remains moved onto it with great care. I couldn't help but flinch at my own failure to help as his body made a soft moan of air escaping his lungs. It was too much. I started the funeral dirge, under my breath, something I hoped his people did too. As the medics began to carry him away, they ran headfirst into the second officer. With my shock, I forgot to inform. When the open stretcher hit the floor, the corpse of human Michael sat bolt upright, eyes wide open. Everyone screamed. One of the medics bolted out of sight. I'm ashamed to admit I might have defecated a little. It had taken some time, but everyone eventually calmed down, enough to hear out the wildest explanation I've ever heard before, or since. It turned out humans don't worship their gods quite like we do. Instead of the more normal, regular, meditative rest cycle prayers, humans face their cruel gods literally head-on. According to Michael, every cycle a human will get themselves killed, usually for a combination of ingesting poisons, dangerous stunts, or in this case work to death, then lay down to die. If they were worthy, they gained access to their species' afterlife. If not, they were rejected, sent back to prove themselves anew, again and again, until they were accepted eventually. We were also stunned at this truly alien concept. None of us questioned it. Not even the captain when news of this incident reached him. Of course, none of us knew Michael or humans in general enough to recognize the spark in his eyes as he explained this. The medics did their general health tests anyway, baffled that they had somehow overlooked this quirk of nature in this relatively new species. And that's the story of how my best friend Michael was allowed to nap on the job in the prayer corner of the quiet room every day for the first 4 great cycles of our time working together, repeatedly rejected by the gods of hard work. I lost my bet on human strangeness on day 0. We all did.